Hey, what's up YouTube? Avi here, coming to you with another video today. This one is about what a paradox is, and the reason we're clarifying what a paradox is because I'm going to have a series coming up pretty soon. It's called The Paradoxes of Life, so it's essential that we clarify exactly what a paradox is. And the way I'm going to do that in today's video is by providing a useful analogy. So here's the analogy. Paradox is irony, but an irony is not necessarily a paradox. Kind of like a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not necessarily a square. So allow me to explain what I mean. Paradox occurs when something on the surface seems true, but when you dig deeper, it's actually false, or vice versa. Whereas irony is just something different happens than what we expected to have happened. This is why paradox is irony. If something seems true on the outside, or false on the outside, but then you dig deeper and find out it's actually true, or vice versa, then by its very nature, that was different than what you expected to have happen. Therefore, all cases of paradox is irony. That's a big thing. Paradox is irony 100% of the time. Now let's talk about why irony is not necessarily a paradox. Irony is just something different that happens than what's expected. In the case of the paradox, where it just seems like it's true, but then it's false, that could be a case of irony, so you just switch instead of paradox, irony is paradox. But what about something called situational irony, which is where it's context-based? So let's say we have a guy named Jim, just for the sake of this example. We all expect Jim to walk through this doorway and enter the room through this door. But then let's say he enters like a cat burglar through this window. That's irony because it's different than what we expected to have happen. Is that a paradox? No, because it's not involving true or false at all. He walked through the doorway, true or false? True or false just doesn't apply to that situation. Those are the cases where irony is not necessarily a paradox. So in conclusion, these are not mutually exclusive terms. However, paradox is always irony. If you're looking at a Venn diagram, there's no part of the paradox circle that's not irony. When a paradox occurs, it's always something different than what was expected to have happened. Therefore, it is always irony. But like I just explained, an irony is not necessarily a paradox in the case of situational irony.